a Dataflow alternative with row-level security. This is really interesting. So Microsoft recently announced that Dataflow Gen1 is at some point in the next few years going to be probably deprecated and replaced with something else. Probably, I'm guessing, something you have to pay a bit extra for. Okay. Dataflow Gen1 also doesn't respect row-level security. So what if you could replace them with something that, is part of the core functionality and respects row-level security? So for example, this report, I've published it, I've set up row-level security, and then a different user who I've put in that row-level security comes in, and they only see this data, and they can refresh, and they can connect to this one table called project costs. Okay, or any of the individual tables that are inside. Here's project costs, but they can connect to any of these tables individually. And it's just a refreshable import mode scenario. This is pretty interesting. All right, I'll show you how we built it. Let's go. And also, check out in the description a link to my Power BI Essentials training course, available now. All right. So shout out to Henrik Vestergaard, because on LinkedIn he posted about this technique and it really struck me as something I'd never seen before. So this concept of using this analysis services database query inside Power Query to pull a single table out of a data model. And these days it works on pro workspaces. Okay. Again, I guess this is something Microsoft could turn off, but it does actually work on a pro workspace. Okay, so let me show you the concept and what you need to do. So I'm just going to go into Power Query. And if I go into the advanced editor and just focus on this first bit, ignore this second bit. This is just to get rid of brackets from columns. Ignore that. So all we're doing is we are connecting to a workspace. Now my workspace has spaces in it. You've got to put %20. So the workspace is called Wyn YouTube Pro. I'm connecting to a semantic model called project tables. That was the name of the report. Let me just go show you. This report is called project tables, and it's been published to the workspace called Wyn YouTube Pro, just a pro workspace. And then that report has been shared to another user with build permissions. I'll show you that in a second. Okay. This is the magic little bit, okay? This connector, analysis service database, and then this square bracket query equals evaluate, and this, okay? This bit, available tables, is actually the name of a table. I'll show you how I created that. But if I cancel out of this and go to a more relevant one, okay? If I go back here and advanced editor, okay, there's a table I'm connected to called project costs. The only reason for the little single quotes is if you have a space in your table name, you need single quotes. So I've just put them in here. And that's it. You can then connect to a query. But look, it comes in with these square brackets. Okay, let me just zoom in so we can see a bit better. Everything's in square brackets, all the column names, and I don't want those. So I just added an extra step that basically replaces the column names. Okay, so if I go back into Advanced Editor, there's this routine here using list.transform and table column names. It just gets everything out from between the square brackets. This is pretty cool. And it respects row level security, because if I go over here, I've set row level security from this report. Let me show you under here. I published this report. And I've set up row level security. So under modeling, manage roles, I've set up a perth role, and that is only allowed to see perth and only allowed to see completion, drilling and seismic. So I've published this. Let me go into the browser. Okay, I've gone in here, gone to security, and in that perth role, I've set up this pro user email address. And then my pro user logs in and they see this. Okay, just perth, just drilling. Sorry, also I should have mentioned, just to go back, I've then gone into the report. Okay, and I have shared this with specific people and allowed them to build. Okay, go and apply and put that pro user email address in here and said copy link, send them the link. So then the pro user, when they go to that report, they see this, and they also can then build a report off it. They can do import mode using this technique. If I go here, location name, they can only see Perth. And from a cost center name point of view, they can only see completion, drilling and seismic. It's pretty cool. Okay, and then up here, I've just got this sort of standard little table. Maybe I'll put this in a template to send to people. Available tables. Okay, this is a list of all the tables they've got access to. So all I've done back in the main report, you know, where the master table lives, I've gone in and created this little query, info.viewTables. It's a table, so it's using modeling new table. Okay, put this query in there. That actually physically generates this table. Let me go show you available tables. There we go. It actually physically generates that table. And I've just named it available tables. So that way the end user could come in, okay, go into available tables. If I come back here, see, there's available tables. It lists all the tables they've got access to. They can go, oh, actually, I'll just duplicate this. Okay, duplicate. And go here and say, okay, I actually want access to the location table. Right click, copy. Okay, go to the source step, double click here, paste, give it a tick. And this is now, they've got access to the location table. And then I can rename this as location and right click, enable load. And notice they've only got access to the Perth locations because of row level security, which is pretty cool. And there's two security settings you need to stop your life getting annoying. The most important one is when you close this file down and you reopen it, you'll get a refresh error that you can't log in, and you basically have to edit your credentials each time, which is really annoying. So again, thanks to Henrik, we go File, Options and Settings, Options. Okay, and under Security, there is this Sign In Experience. Use the updated. That seems to be causing the bug. If you untick that, then you don't get re-prompted, or it doesn't fail every time you log back in. It seems to work, whether that's selected or not. Scheduled refresh online seems to work perfectly fine. Okay. The other one that I found was when I'm doing this duplication of queries and things, I kept getting prompted to approve. So you can untick that. Apparently the risk there is that if you open up somebody else's report that might be external, it can execute some native database queries. You know, I'm not sure that's a big deal with this scenario. And if it's your own trusted files and things, should be fine. But again, you know, it depends on your scenario. But turning that off when you're developing, maybe turning it back on at the end. So there we go. That is really very interesting. Okay, I'll make this code available. I'll make this file, the connected one with available tables in. But really it's this, right? This is it. This is the name of you change this bit. That's the name of your workspace. Use %20 instead of spaces. It's this. That's the name of your semantic model. And then this is the name of the table that you want to extract from your model. That's it. That's all you have to change. So let me just show you. If I go in here, okay, this is the name of my workspace, Wyn U2 Pro. That's the name of my model. And then within there are all those tables. Okay, so within here are all these tables. I've got a table called available tables. It's really interesting. Okay, let me know what you think. There are concerns. This also works with Excel. You can use Excel, copy that query into Excel. Annoyingly, that you get kicked out every time you close Excel and wait like half an hour or an hour and then open it up again and refresh. You have to re-edit your credentials. Hopefully that gets fixed. But I'm pretty excited about this. This is pretty interesting. Okay, leave your comments. Love to hear what you think. Is this a potential alternative to Dataflow Gen 1? We'll see.